Perfect. Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for everyone who showed up for me tonight. I feel so lucky and so loved. And here we go. um, good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Batiste. Welcome to my Capstone. I changed the title a bit since I first submitted it. So, how Transcendental Meditation opens the door for an actor's limitless creativity. So think about when you watch a really good movie, when you've had the opportunity to listen to some beautiful notes, whether it's from instruments or vocal, or you've had the opportunity to look in awe at an art form either on campus or with movement. When you think about the people behind that, do you think to yourself, wow, their job must be so fun? Or do you think they must be absolutely miserable? If you could put that in the chat, what your vote is, and I'll come back to that question in a moment. Tonight, I'm going to talk about what the problem is that's preventing actors from fully stepping into who they are. I'll share a little bit about what's the current interventions are. I'll talk about transcendental meditation as a possible solution and share some of the research behind that. I will also share a real world use case potentially, and then we'll get to our conclusion. And I'm going to see. Of course, I can't see the chat, so I'll just go. If you chose B, unfortunately, you are correct. As you can see, Robin Williams said at one time, all it takes is a beautiful fake smile to hide an injured soul, and they will never notice how broken you really are. Now, you may think that's just one person's experience, but another actor shared that depression is an open secret in the industry. So that's the industry as a whole. That means a lot of people are going through this. And even a UK study showed that 87% of actors experience mental health challenges. So, like, what is causing this? What's creating these mental health challenges? They look like they're having a lot of fun. They get to make art. It's the culture. It literally cultivates dysregulation. How do they do that? Uh, just the way they expect people to be. If they are, if they appear to be vulnerable, like show that they're having a hard time, they fear that they can be easily replaced, so they lose their job, they lose their role. Um, there's some my words are not wording. Uh, Sometimes people are they just depend on where you are. They enforce the idea that if you're not willing to sacrifice your health or well-being, then you don't belong here. And then the other challenge that actors deal with is just really fully embodying a part. Imagine that you're in this role, you're playing someone who you that's not really you, and then you have to come out of that and try to find yourself again. And there's not really anything in place to help you find yourself again. So imagine worrying about losing your job. If you're showing any vulnerability that you're struggling with yourself, that creates stress, anxiety, depression happens a lot. And those are the things that prevent actors from really being able to show up for themselves. So basically they're performing from just a shell of themselves. There are some things in place that are trying to support them. They have mental health support, financial support, medical resources. However, that is just addressing the the surface things. Just like most of Western medicine is they words. Most of Western medicine only deal with the why can I not word? What is it called?
The
Mostly,
symptoms?
yes, thank you. The word symptoms is what I was trying to find. So these are doing this, it's pretty much the same model. They're dealing with the symptoms. Thank you, whoever said that. But the only way to really address the issue is to get to the root of it. Now, you may think that the art is coming from their pain, their suffering. A lot of people think that the reason their art is showing up so beautifully to us is because of the suffering that gives them the ability to have this depth of character. But I want to put to you this concept that amazing art doesn't come from suffering. Maharishi was saying how what's really happening is you'll do anything to get away from suffering. So imagine they are trying to get out of suffering, and this is their outlet, their art. So during that time, they're actually experiencing bliss and joy while they're creating. So it's not that they're creating from suffering, they're creating from a place of joy and bliss. The only way we can get them to actually be able to be in that state on a regular basis is if we get to the root cause of all of this. So, to flourish, you must nourish the root, and the way to do that is through transcendental meditation. So, what is transcendental meditation, or TM? Maharishi says it's the process of bringing the attention to the level of transcendental being. So as you can see at the bottom of this image, pure consciousness as transcendental being, that is the most deepest part of yourself, the unmanifest blank canvas from which anything can be created. So you can imagine if you're living from that place, your creativity is endless because you're pulling from an endless pool of creativity. So I just want to share some research behind that shows how TM has been shown to reduce the severity of depression, PTSD, sleep difficulties, anxiety. It's shown to increase creativity, create a sense of self. Because a lot of times, imagine if you're going to auditions, you're getting rejected. Auditions, you're getting rejected. And that can really take a toll on your psyche, mental health, and wondering, like, what is wrong with me? So TM can address all of these things so that actors can really perform and bring out the full aspect of their creativity. Imagine what that would look like. So, real world solutions, it would be awesome if we could stand up, establish a TM center where there's the greatest population of performers, have a nonprofit dedicated to supporting that TM center so that anyone in that area can go in and get and learn the technique. What's beautiful about it is even though it's suggested that it's 20 minutes twice a day, there was a study on ER staff during the COVID, and they were not always able to do twice a day. But even the ones who were consistent with once a day, they reported significantly better sleep, less anxiety, and less stress. So there is feasibility because the onset is unpredictable. But if they can get at least one in, it can change their life. They will come out sharper and they will perform better, and they have access to all of that creative energy, juice, whatever you want to call it. They can bring their full self forward. So we talked about the struggle is the industry in and of itself is very stressful. There's a lot of things that are creating that stress, but I'm not going to go into that tonight. There's a lot of things that are just keeping them not being able to perform at their full potential. And we are seeing that TM has a capability of being able to do that. And it is feasible to actually implement in their life. It's easy. They don't have to take time to go see a psychiatrist via Zoom or in person. They can sit and be in a deep meditation where they get deep rest and they're connecting to the deepest part of themselves. I love this quote by Maharishi. When the awareness of the artist is in tune with the center of infinite creativity, his creation, his piece of art, breathes fullness of life, nourishes the creator, the artist, and inspires his admirers with waves of bliss. Now, who doesn't want to be inspired with waves of bliss as we see artists perform from their whole self? I look forward to that day. And thank you.